Lionel Nelson here, and welcome to A Father's Note, promoting fathers through building men. It's so important that we always stand up for our fathers. We want you to know we're with you. We're standing behind you 110%.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another broadcast of A Father's Note. No, this is a special broadcast because we definitely want to talk about something that is very, very important to me and to my heart. And two reasons. Number one, well, maybe three, I would say three, but two of them definitely. Number one, I am a father. And number two, not only do I have sons, but I have daughters as well. I have children. And number three, if not necessarily in that order, I'm a person who really believe in God, and I care about his creation, number one. So, but I do, first of all, want to apologize for the delay. I normally strive to be timely, but, at times we do run into some technical issues when we're working with live streams and things like that. But I want to thank all of you, those of you who would tune in, and, let's share. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, share this broadcast with them. Tag someone, let them know that we're on, because this topic here is something that either it can affect each and every one of us, or it has already affected us, and some of us in many ways one another. And that is why we want to talk about why we have juvenile murderers. Why do we have juvenile murderers? Now, some of you may say, well, that's a little strong, bro. That's a little strong, preacher. Well, it is what it is. Because we got to deal with the truth here. Now, this is a very uncomfortable subject for me, but I just feel that it's definitely one that we have to have. We have to talk about this here. We have to talk about why our young men, whether black, white, pink, purple, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Okay, why are there so many of our young men, as early as the age of 12, are committing murder? And they're doing it without any thought. They're doing it without any remorse. They're doing it as if they don't care. And, and to tell you the truth, I'm going to share my little 2 cents as to why I think that is the case, and why we have gotten to this point. And, and it really saddens me so much when I see, our young men in trouble with the law, and our young men in trouble with the law because they have taken someone else's life. And we got to talk about this. We have to have this discussion, and we have to say something. Something has to be done, And, I like the fact that, my first, those that are watching on Facebook, thank you so much. Okay, because we know tonight we went live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. But definitely, yes, Mr. Juvenile, hurt people do hurt people. And let's talk about that. But before I go into that, what I want to do, I have about 20 minutes worth of videos that I want to share. I don't know if I would get through them all, but I'm going to share some of you, and then I might give some commentary on my perspective as to why we have gotten to this point. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this clip, and then if you have any comments or you want to share, as a matter of fact, if you want to call in, you can call in to this number here if you have something you want to say, if you want to get in on the conversation. But we need to talk about it. We just cannot continue to be in shock and in awe by this subject matter, by what is happening. And then I guess we can have the mindset, well, it's not happening in my house. I don't care. Well, no, we should care. We should care. It could be your neighbor next door. It could be your neighbor down the street. It could be a family member in the next town or another state. It doesn't matter. No matter what. don't ever think, I don't think the worst thing that we can ever do, even though we strive to be as careful as we possibly can, but I think that the worst thing that we can ever do is to think that trouble or death or what have you cannot come, or senseless death, let me say it that way, cannot come knocking at our doors. There are a lot of young people that are losing their lives out in the streets. There are a lot of young people that are losing, those young people who are losing their lives in the street are having their life taken by other young people who are also in the street. So we got to have this conversation. So let's talk about, I'm gonna play a couple of videos here, and then we have a conversation on it. So let's go here with this one.
But y'all paranoid. I just shot the nigga. I just shot the nigga. I shouldn't be over there praying and shit. Right. Y'all really got the easy way. I'm talking about when that said.
No, I was scared. I wasn't even thinking about it. So they just had a license. You know?
Right. When that boy said license.
I'm only got 16, bro. You in that rest of your life, your mother gonna be about 500.
Well, y'all should have saw.
So let me say something here. I hope that you all, let me know if you can hear me or not, because I'm trying to work with this new system here. Let me know if you can hear me. Maybe I might have to pull this off here. But somebody let me know. Y'all help me out here if you can hear me. Still on the broadcast. Okay, thank you. All right.
But I ain't gonna count.
I know.
Got. Oh, that boy face said.
But when you shot that, and I looked at him, he was like he didn't get hit.
Right. Until that boy, it looked like he didn't get hit until he looked at his shoulder. He was like, funny.
He went out like a G though.
Yeah. Right. That boy went out like G. That boy got
a bullet in his shoulder.
I bet right back to the piece play was like, boy, I quit. Man, right.
He probably just got.
Cause but when I did him like that, he was like, man, you can have the pizza and the money in your car. He said, this all I got in my pocket. He put out that wallet. I thought I seen 20.
I bet none of y'all know who that is besides.
You know, this guy, this young man, Daquandra Weaver. This young man is 14 years old. 14 years old, and he's bragging about shooting a pizza delivery guy. And the thing of it is, even if you look at how he's handling this gun, he's so careless with his finger on the trigger. I assume it's loaded, but I'm gonna say that it is loaded. And look how he's just waving it around, pointing to his head, pointing to the other people that are around him. But then he's bragging. He's bragging about shooting another human being. Where did he get this mindset from? Where did he get this attitude? Sorry here. Okay, we got here that taking a life has become a status symbol for the gangster culture that many young people have adopted. And that's the truth. That is the truth, because that's pretty much where I want to go with this here. That's one of the reasons. It's because of the culture. Let's say, what about the music? The music, the rap music is creating this here. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, and I'm going to show you. I hope to show you in one of these videos. We got a problem. We got this young man here, 14 years old. My question is, where's his father? Better yet, where's his mother? Where's the father of all these young men that's in this video right here? Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? I don't know how you all feel about this, but this is sad. This is sad. 14 years old, and he's waving. Let me back this up a little bit. Y'all got to hear this. Look at this here. You gotta look at
And
this.
I'm with somebody just shot somebody, I would've been like, what the
What do you see?
Cause boy, when I shot that, I already thought you finna pull up on me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna have to get running.
When you shoot, did you shoot him in the car or out of the car?
But when he was hopping inside the car, I parked him. Cause at first, when he was running toward the car, I ain't had the gun caught black. Caught back, so when I shot, they was like, I'm like, what? I caught the back. It was inside the head. Boah! That boy face said.
But look, when you shot that, and I looked at him, he was like he didn't get hit.
That's sad. That is sad. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
He said, this all I got in my pocket. He put
18 years old. His name is Matthew McMillian.
McMillian was charged as an adult this afternoon. Todd Hicks is live at the Milwaukee County Children's Court Building
Look at this.
in Wauwatosa. Todd.
Look, listen to this. Why this 15-year-old Matthew McMillian. Listen to the reason why he ended up killing somebody. Listen to this reason.
Well, Carol, McMillian is being kept here at the Juvenile Justice Center for now. Prosecutors say he's the boy who pulled the trigger, killing another teen after an argument.
Wisconsin versus Matthew McMillian.
This is the teen who prosecutors say shot and killed 14-year-old Tariq Akbar near the lakefront Friday.
The charge here is first-degree reckless homicide, party to a crime.
Matthew McMillian's eyes filled with tears as the court commissioner read those charges. He added Akbar's murder is a heart-wrenching case all around.
I guess I took it out. But he shot that other 14-year-old over a girl. Over a girl. Take a life over a girl? Are you kidding? Is it really that serious? Let's keep going. Let's keep
Accused
going.
killer, now 16 years old, has been certified to stand trial as an adult. Raul Cervera was just 15 at the time he allegedly shot a man to death during a botched drug deal. Paul Venema in court as the judge set his bail at $750,000 and ordered the teenager transferred to the Bexar County Jail.
He was here to sell marijuana. Instead, 20-year-old Abram Garcia was shot and killed last fall. According to the lead detective, the suspected killer was Raul Cervera, who was just 15 years old at the time. He allegedly shot and killed Garcia as part of a robbery scheme, the detective testified.
He asked.
Now, check this out. Listen to what happens here. This detective is going to say why he shot him, but over drugs, obviously. I'm sure y'all see that right now. But let's listen to it.
For the weed, he asked to give, he said, give me all of it. And he shot him.
Cervera's probation officer testified that he has had behavioral violations while in juvenile custody since the murder. His recommendation, transfer the case to the adult system. A forensic psychologist testifying for the defense said that the teen had a troubled childhood.
Do we need to go any further with that? Troubled childhood, behavioral issues. Again, why? That's the question we want to get to. I don't want to bore you. I really don't want to bore you all with these videos, but we got some real serious stuff here. Let me see if I can find another one here for you. I want to play for you. I have one. Look at this one here. Let me see if this is it.
Tuesday night on this.
Yeah.
My mama, I want to be a firefighter.
That video was posted on February.
Weapon and firing at van.
Came up with this stack of papers. It spells out a shoplifting case, a robbery, aggravated battery, intimidation of a witness in one case, and of course some probation violations.
Look at this here. Look at this.
Tied to those as well for good measure. Well, now you can add attempted carjacking to that list after an incident last night here at these apartments that could have easily led to an innocent victim getting badly hurt. APD tells us Gonzalez and two accomplices approached a couple coming back from dinner in their car and tried to take that car. Instead, the victim shot Gonzalez, who is armed with a handgun himself, shot him in the head. Gonzalez is now in the hospital in critical condition. His accomplices, also believed to be teens, fled on foot.
That young man was 16 years old. Him and his mother, his buddies, went to carjack someone else. He ended up with a bullet in his head. Why? Why? Has it come to this? Let's keep going. I got some more here I want to show y'all. Then we're gonna wrap on this a little bit.
Arrested these four in a deadly crime spree that played out in broad daylight. 18-year-olds Jaquan Bailey and Stefan Mitchell, and 37-year-olds Ashley Harrell, 38-year-old Vincent Colbreth. Detectives say they went to rob a man, and even after he handed them his backpack, they killed him in cold blood. The brutal attack caught on camera.
Y'all got to see this. And again, don't think that it can't happen to you. Don't go through life thinking that it cannot happen to you. Look at this.
Just before noon Monday, a home surveillance camera captured one of the suspects getting out of a white car and then approaching the victim, identified as 38-year-old Brandon Van. He's the one wearing the backpack. In the video, you see Van continue walking down the street while the suspect gets back in his car and drives out of view. Moments later, Van is seen running around the corner. He's being chased by 3 men now. A suspect wearing dark clothing is shooting at the victim. A man in blue picks up some shell casings off the ground before raising his weapon and firing at Van. The group disappears behind some trees before one of the men is seen carrying Van's backpack, and the suspect in blue fires again. Investigators say Van died on scene.
Why? Innocent young man, minding his business. What did they shoot him over? We don't know, but tell me that makes sense. Tell me in what way was that justified? This man running for his life over a book bag. I'm sure they could go get a job. I think you could go to Family Dollar somewhere and get a book bag for $2-3, I guess. I don't know. But it don't cost that much. Are you serious? A life. A book bag, shall I say, is worth a life. A book bag and whatever might be in the book bag is worth taking someone's life. I see your comments. I'm going to get to the comments. Let me just get through these videos real quick. Please.
Identified the person who was killed in a deadly shootout at a drive-through ATM in Kendall over the weekend, and he was only 16 years old. Police believe that teen and another person were trying to rob the victim, who was also armed and shot back.
And they're still looking for that third person who they say should be considered armed and dangerous.
Police also identified the suspect who was killed, Namaike Clark, just 16 years old.
We just went and got my son out today, and I'm looking forward for him to do good.
My name is Namaike Clark. I just came home. I did 20 months. I appreciate.
I mean, he did 20 months in juvie. 20 months in juvie. Let's keep going. This one here really hurt. When I saw this here, this one really hurt about this young man here. Because, of course, this is local. And what really hurt me and what got to me, his mother. Where is his father? Where is his father? Let's keep going.
Thank them for coming to get me. And I'm trying to get a job so I can take care of my mama. I want to be a firefighter.
That video was posted on February 5th to social media by the Circle of Brothers.
That's February 5th this year. Now, there was this organization that reached out to try to help him, to attempt to help him. Of course, they couldn't get to him in time because it was just a couple of days after he was released that he ends up dead. Just a couple of days. But why? Why? And that's the question we have to address. That's the question we're going to answer tonight.
Brotherhood, an organization focused on youth mentorship, crime prevention, and community service. Days after that video was posted, days after Clark reportedly was released from juvenile custody, police say he went up to a man in a white pickup truck who just pulled up to the drive-through ATM at this BB&T bank near Southwest 88th and 137th Avenue. Police say the driver of that pickup, later spotted covered with blood, was carrying a gun. Words were exchanged. Moments later, so were gunshots. The driver was hit in the chest and rushed to the hospital. Clark was pronounced dead on scene.
AFather'sNote says his 12-year-old son told him he did not.
Oh, now y'all got to hear this one. Y'all got to hear this one. Now just think about it. When you see this here, those of you who have children, those of you who have sons, put your 12-year-old son, your 12-year-old daughter in this place right now and let me know how you would feel. Let me know how you would feel. Let's go.
Murder, but he was there, he says, when someone killed Jamel Ray and shot Charles Fisher last Monday near Miller Park.
Jarrell Milton is back in Omaha, arriving in police custody moments ago. He will be charged with first-degree murder. Also charged, his older brother, Jamar, and 15-year-old Shontavius Primes Willis. KETV News Watch 7's JoBeth DeVera is live with what Milton's father's saying.
Okay, so someone just, thank you, Rosa Fernanda, said that the Circle of Brotherhood are very active in the community. That's good to know. You know, personally, I want to get to know them as well, because we got to do something. I'm sure we have a lot of more fathers that's out here striving to do it right, and that really cares not only about their own children, but their neighborhood, their community, that they could connect with these organizations such as the Circle of Brotherhood, and we can make a difference. We do not have to live in fear. We do not have to live in fear. Let me go here. Okay, so Ms. Dumerville says that in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the first step is belonging. Absolutely. What happens with many young people, they don't have fathers and or parents who are actively involved in their life. Everybody longs to belong into a group one way or the other. Now you're getting ahead of me, Ms. Dumerville. You're getting ahead of me. Absolutely. You're getting ahead of me. So let me back this up a little bit and let me finish this video, going through these videos here. I'm going to show y'all some stuff here. I'm going to show you some stuff. I can't show you every video that I have because we'll be here all night, because there's a lot of this stuff going on in not only our community, but in our nation, And there's no way you can say that we cannot do anything or even make a change with this, because we got to start somewhere. But let's go.
Jeremy and Melissa, Javaris tells me he is purely devastated to know his kids are possibly involved in taking another man's life. He says it's really not their fault, though, and admits he has failed as a father.
Now listen why he says this here. Just listen. Just what y'all got to watch this here. Oh, this is sad.
I asked him, you know, is it true what's being said? Did you cause injury to these guys? And he goes, no, no, I didn't. He says, I was there, I was scared, but I didn't cause injury to him, Dad, and I believe my son.
Javaris Milton spent an hour talking to us from a Minnesota prison where he's serving life for murder.
And the plan was already for them to come up here to
Milton talked to me at length about his sons, 12-year-old Jarrell and 17-year-old Jamar.
12 years old. Look at that young boy. Look at that face. 12 years old. His life will never be the same. And his brother is 17. His life will never be the same. Never. 12 and 17. 12. Look at this face. It's a baby who's being charged with murder. That ought to be shocking, you all. That ought to be shocking. Murder. Let me keep going here.
Both charged with first-degree murder for the shooting death here near Miller Park on June 29th. Police found the 12-year-old Tuesday night on this sidewalk in Minneapolis. Javaris Milton would not say how his son got there, but he does tell me the family had previous plans to leave their home to visit Javaris for the 4th of July.
Jarrell didn't get brought up here to run from the police.
Javaris spoke with Jarrell before he was arrested Tuesday night, and he insists the 12-year-old did not take someone else's life.
He is not no murderer. He didn't murder this man. He didn't call this man to the park. He didn't set none of this up. He was just there.
Javaris believes his kids may have lost their way after his incarceration because of the gang influence in Omaha.
You figure? You figure?
And because of the example he set himself.
If there's anybody to blame, it's me to blame. I probably made it look cool. Probably looked glorious in their eyes.
And for that, he only has himself to blame.
I've tried to reach him. I tried to tell him, and I tried to tell him. But like I say, the seed, I guess, is already planted.
His only hope now for the justice system to have mercy on his 12-year-old boy.
this is a child. This is a baby we're talking about. It's obvious that he needs some serious help.
And Javaris did express his condolences for the victim's family, Jamel Ray, saying he can't imagine what they're going through. But Milton says he, too, has suffered a loss. But we
Really? I notice the father is hurting here. But look where he's at. Look where he's at. And this, all of this is going to speak to where I'm going with this here. Let me keep going. Now, this one here, just you got to listen to it. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'm going to let the next one play all out. You got to hear this one. Listen to this.
Begin with a family trying to come to terms with the death of a young father shot and killed by a 12-year-old boy. His family says the 26-year-old was trying to intervene in a fight when the boy grabbed a gun.
Devontae Relford was shot outside a home on Detroit's west side this weekend. The father of two died at the hospital. Victor Williams has been speaking with his family. Victor?
Well, it was just yesterday that we had to deal with the news that it was a 12-year-old that was charged with this man's death. But now we're learning more about the victim and the major void he now leaves behind.
He had a heart of gold. He was sweet. He didn't do anything. You call him, he was there.
3 long days have passed since 26-year-old Devontae Relford was tragically killed in a home on Mark Twain Sunday night. His sister Brittany and other family members are still trying to come to terms with his untimely death.
We can't. We lost a rock. A rock. A rock.
The person accused of pulling the trigger during a heated physical altercation is a 12-year-old. Brittany says Devontae was trying to protect his younger sibling who was in a fight with her ex. It's believed that while Devontae was trying to intervene, the ex-boyfriend's preteen nephew grabbed a gun, striking Devontae from behind.
The 12-year-old shot my brother in the back.
You got to listen to what she says because she put it in good context here.
Not facing him, not charging him, wasn't coming after him. Shot him in the back multiple times and said, yeah, I did it, because he was whooping on my uncle.
The circumstances are still under investigation. Either way, Brittany says Devontae was a kind man who leaves behind 2 children, 6-year-old Sydney and 3-year-old Caden.
That man was an excellent father. He wouldn't have did anything for his kids.
In the meantime, Devontae's loved ones are hoping for a harsher charge for the 12-year-old, something more than manslaughter and felony firearm.
That's not a child anymore. He's been grown up. For you to take a gun and shoot someone in the back multiple times and have no remorse, you gone.
You heard what she said? That young man had no remorse. He was gone. He was gone. That's sad. That is sad. She had a mouth. She said a mouthful right there. I got, just bear with me because I want to make sure you understand this here. Just bear with me because I want to make sure you guys. Now this next video, you got to watch this here, and I'm going to point out something that I see. Because all of this here speaks to why we have the issues that we have going on in our America, in our cities, in our communities right now. And we have to do something about it. But let me show you something. Let me play this video here for you.
A report on a documentary done by a local rapper that takes viewers into the streets of New Orleans to look at the cultural violence that's become a way of life in some neighborhoods in this town.
So basically, just to set this up, there's a gentleman that is a rapper, and he's taking an initiative to bring about a change where in his city where he lives. And so what he did, he invited the news station to come along and he showed them and had this interview with them, showing them and revealing to them what's going on. He's trying to make a change. He's striving to make a difference. Okay, but check this out here. Check this out.
While I was interviewing a couple of rappers, a guy who used to be in their rap group started yelling obscenities at us with taunts and threats that got so intense, I stopped the interview. But that did not stop the arguing. And seconds later, the confrontation turned into a fight, and one of the men had a gun.
Why there's this violence in New Orleans? This is murder capital.
Kwame Gates, who goes by the rapper name K Gates, has produced a documentary about violence here in New Orleans called Murder Capital. He's hoping to shed light on the problems facing this city and stop the cycle of murder and violent crime. Even though he's a rapper, he believes the rap culture has had a strong influence on young people.
And I agree. I absolutely agree. Rap culture has been glorified. Can we say it's part of the reason, or possibly part of the reason why we have so many young deaths and gang murders? And so many young men and young women being acclimated into gangs and into that culture? Could that possibly be the reason why? I would say yes. They bear some blame too. This is because of what they've been exposed to. But like one of our viewers say, they should be doing their homework and playing football, doing something positive. But they're being drawn into this culture. But check this out. Let me continue to play this video. Check this out.
Glorifying drugs, guns, money, and violence.
What's the proper way to murder a nigga?
You gotta walk down, one of the chest and six in the feet.
He introduced us.
I gotta play that again. And there's a way they've been taught on how to take somebody out. Listen to this again. Listen to this again.
Harsher charge for the 12-year-old, something more than manslaughter and felony.
Oh, I went too far back.
So intense,
My
I
apologies.
stopped the interview, but that did not.
Cycle of murder and violent crime. Even though he's a rapper, he believes the rap
I went too
culture
far back, y'all. I
has had a
apologize.
strong influence on young people, glorifying drugs, guns, money, and violence.
What's the proper way to murder a nigga?
You gotta walk down, one of the chest and six in the feet.
Y'all hear that?
Has had a strong influence on young people, glorifying drugs, guns, money, and violence.
What's the proper way to murder a nigga?
You gotta walk down, one of the chest and six in the feet.
He introduced us to this woman, Althea Phillips, whose 4 sons were all killed in gun violence. As we left her house, Gates introduced us to a couple of rappers who call themselves the 8-9 Boys.
You know, it's borderline 9th Ward, 8th Ward, 8-9.
8-9 boys, it represents, because this is what the 8th Ward and the 9th Ward meet. So, and we don't, I would say that they came together in unity.
Now, y'all got to watch this. And I want to see if you all would notice what I noticed here and what caught my attention and what really pricked my heart. Just watch this.
Gates said his friend Al, who goes by the rap name Easy Money, now has a son and is rethinking the rapper lifestyle.
Yeah, kinda, man. They kind of stereotyped us as a gang when we really was just a group of friends who was trying to do something positive, and they stereotyped us and try to make us as a gang.
And your rap name or street name is Easy Money, and you got
Easy
the tattoo
Money.
on your wrist there, Easy Money.
Easy Money.
What we realize in life is that easy money ain't always easy. So,
and let me ask you this, because the Easy Money, you were saying that you kind of regret doing all this.
Yeah, I kind of regret doing all this, far as the tattoos and the goals, because, a lot of people stereotype you for something that you're really not, man, when I'm really a good person, you know what I'm saying?
What made you do it with the teeth and everything? And
I was kind of young, and
it's part of our culture.
It's part of our culture.
Y'all hear that? Why is it part of your culture? Why have you allowed something? And y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, as degrading as this type of lifestyle to become a part of our culture. And I'm talking about to the black people too. Why have you allowed it to become a part of our culture? No, that's not my culture. That does not represent me. And more men, more fathers like myself, and mothers and women like you should make that point clear. Your child should not, you should, well, you know what? What's happening is because we got a lot of parents, quote unquote, they allow that to be a part of their culture. So the child in the home that's around the drugs and the cursing and all this derogatory thing, the B this and the H that, whatever. That's what they become acclimated to. And guess what? They just take on that same behavior, learned behavior. And then guess what they begin? They begin to duplicate it. Duplicate it. Because they have not been exposed to anything different other than, or being taught, or their minds have not been cultivated for them to believe, hey, guess what? There is another way. There is another way of doing this here. But let me finish this video. I got to get through this. I'm almost done with this here. I'm almost done. Then we're going to get into this here.
It's part of our culture, and I was young at the same time, and, you know, I made a lot of bad decisions.
Gates and Easy Money say just because you rap about the street life, drugs, guns, and violence, it doesn't mean you live that life.
So he will be the representative for the people that's living a life of, you know, just trying to get out the hood.
I'm the voice of the streets, basically.
Then the conversation turned to why so many people carry guns.
Why do you think people of our demographic, our age, African Americans, gotta carry a gun?
Gates stopped mid-sentence when a man who used to be in the rap group with Easy Money started yelling obscenities about Gates being in his neighborhood.
That perception shit'll get you killed, boy.
You know?
You think this is, nigga?
And now it's a live prime example of why it's so volatile in New Orleans.
You hide behind a camera, boy. Never come in my hood and disrespect on no mother camera or nothing.
Yeah, why is he carrying on? This has nothing to do with him. They having a simple discussion, innocent if you ask me, of what they feel, and just saying whatever they feel they need to say in order to get the message out, hey, of why it is happening. And this joker right here is a prime example. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see.
This is now move that camera and talk that shit. Move that camera then. This the white man. This the white man.
I was just about to say, is it the camera or is it because there's a white man in the neighborhood? Why do we feel? Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all now. Y'all might disagree with it. I don't care. But stop saying the white man is your enemy. That's a lie. He is not your enemy. If anybody's your enemy, it's yourself. It's what we do to ourselves. I'm talking to the black folks right now. It's what we do to ourselves. Come on, we got to stop this narrative. I had a couple, I don't want to get ahead, but listen, watch this here. Watch this. Just look at this here. Watch this video. Watch the rest of this video. Look at this.
Well, why you didn't all right, homie, why you didn't wait till the camera was gone and did all that?
It was obvious it was time for us to leave, which we started to do. Then Easy Money, his son by his side, and his friend confronted the man. And a conflict that should have been settled with words turned violent. And we must warn you, what happens here is graphic and frightening.
Don't say you got that gun in his foot. Don't flush it.
Man, he asked for that, man.
Don't flush it, buddy. Let's go call you. Get some about the game.
Okay, ain't over with yet. It's not over with yet. Just watch this here. Look at this.
Back up.
And while the two men fought, the little boy stood nearby witnessing everything.
That was my point right there. That little boy standing right there with his father now, looking at this violence taking place. And it seems that, you know, this young boy, check this out. So let's look at the young boy here. Why isn't he acting afraid? Why isn't he acting like a 2 or 3 year old child would act if they was exposed to something such as this matter, this nature here? But that child was standing there, just as calm as everybody else who was radical, more calm than everybody. I don't know. If y'all agree with me on this, tell me. Let me know in the comment. If you disagree, if you think I'm wrong about this, then let me know that in the comment. Y'all got to talk to me. Y'all got to talk to me. Ms. Rosa says normal. She also said the start of learned behavior. Oh, see, again, that's what I said. This is normal. It's become normal. This is not his first time. I could be wrong now. But is it a possibility that this is not his first time seeing this type of violence? That's why his response is what it is? Is it possible? But let's finish this here. Let's finish this.
Then we saw the gun and realized this could have turned deadly. And the woman desperately crying out, "This is where the killing starts," is Althea, the same woman who lost 4 sons to gun violence. And the fight breaks up.
Hey, bro. It's all good. Look, this is why we out here, to try to stop this.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Later, Gates met us in front of Channel 4 because we wanted to know how this escalated so fast.
Like I said, Eric, I hate to have been brought you in that environment, but in hindsight, yes, it was a close call because the person that was angry at the setting, me, you, whoever, had a firearm.
Let me ask you this. Why did it all of a sudden turn into a fist fight and then the guy...
Now, y'all saw now Easy Money was standing right there. Done took off his shirt. He done took off his shirt. Really? If that was the case, what I'm doing, I'm getting my son out of there. And I'm going the other way. No. Let me finish. Let's finish. We almost finished.
Reach for a gun.
Eric, I can't answer that question. I mean, I don't know why that happened. Why did it culminate to that? But I think he was disarming him so it didn't escalate to something further.
This time, no shots were fired, but it's an example of how pride, anger, and not walking away can turn into violence where no one wins.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I ain't going nowhere.
In 2015.
Now, this what needs to happen. But instead of it being mothers, I want to see some fathers do this too. Let's go.
With tensions rising on the streets of Baltimore, a young masked man, among others, was rioting against police and throwing rocks at them. An unidentified woman nearby witnessed that commotion, and within a minute, she was moving in on that young man fast, like a heat-seeking missile. That mask didn't hide anything from her. She knew it was her son. When she reached him, she tried pulling off his mask. Then she started rapping him on the head, giving him a heavy tongue lashing. His actions toward police officers embarrassed her. But moreover, she knew he was doing wrong, that he'd been taught better than that. Said one bystander, Baltimore doesn't need the National Guard. They need more parents like this one.
That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Okay, so why do we have juvenile murderers? Why? Why do we have, I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so this is my reasons why we have juvenile murders. First of all, we got to fault our fathers. Our fathers are to blame. Yes. So let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. If y'all want to call in, let me give you the number. If you want to call in, you got a comment or whatever. Let me give you the number here, because I want you guys. Let's talk about this here. Okay, you can call in and we'll put you right through. Or if you got a question or whatever, a comment, continue to put them in the chat, and we'll definitely chime in. I want to thank all of you who have tuned in, who are watching. Thank you so much. I see you, and I appreciate it. Okay, but tag somebody, share. All right, so here we go, because I'm not going to be here too much longer. Number one, we got to go back to our fathers. You're responsible for your children, especially now once they are grown now. Up in age. Let me put it this way: once they are out of your home, you're no longer responsible for them. Okay, but in those prime years of their life, okay, and especially when you need to be there from conception until your life ends. Basically, you want to stay in their life. You want to stay involved in their life. You have to. But you got to start with them young. Okay? Now, the reason that we can't fix it, fathers, the number one reason I'm going to say that we cannot fix what we need to fix is we've gotten away from God. You got to have God. You have to have God in order to know how to become the best man that you could possibly be. You have to have God in order to know how to become the best possible father you can be. You can't do it on your own because you're not smart enough. You don't have the wherewithal because you got to understand the nature in which that we were born in. And we got to understand the fact that, listen, sin wants to have control. Sin wants us to destroy each other. Not only ourselves, but to destroy each other. And as long as we continue, now you might say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, but you believe in air and you don't see it. No, you sure believe in air. But you don't believe in air though. Yes, you do. You believe in it because that's the only way you're going to believe. But if you believe in air, then you should believe in God because God is real. And I can tell you right now, me for one, I would not even be the man that I am today if it was not for God, because I at one time was just like you all. Just like you all. The way I thank God for my father. And I thank God that he's still living today. And I pray to God that come next month, we we have an opportunity to celebrate another day with him, another year with our Father. And if he live until then, which I believe he will, because this man here, he's almost like the diehard battery boy. He keep going and going and going. Or the Energizer battery one. He'll be 85 years old, and I'm grateful for that. But one thing about my father, we had our differences. Y'all heard me say that. We've had our differences, in my early lifetime. But it wasn't him that was the issue. It was me. But then that's a whole other story because I don't want to go there. But one thing about him though, one thing that I thank God for him do, no matter, he had his flaws too, and he'll tell you. But one thing I thank God for him do, he made sure not only me, but all of his children, we got to know God. So if we as fathers, we as men, and I'm not here trying to preach to nobody, but if we here as men, take our life, turn our life back to God, we can fix this here. If we don't, then we'll realize we don't have to settle our differences with violence. We don't have to settle our differences with knives and weapons. We don't have to, just because we feel that we don't have, we lack something, we don't have to steal because we have enough trust and faith in God that he's going to provide for us. Now, I could give you scriptures all day long, but I'm not here to try to take a text on nobody, nor to take you to church. But let's be real about it. If you want to be the best possible man you can be, go to God. Just like in one of my broadcasts, like my nephew said, hey, he had to realize, you know what? He needed to get in God's word, read God's word more. And he know that there was something that came that easy for him. So what did he say he was going to do? You know what? He thought about it. Audio book, the audio Bible. So he started listening to the audio Bible. Let me get some of these comments here. Okay, exactly. They remove prayer from the schools. These kids have nothing to fear. That is absolutely right, Miss Tara, Miss Williams. No fear, no accountability, no respect. You better say it. You better say it. And we wonder why. You ain't wonder why. Our kids don't have no respect. The teachers can't. Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, you had fear of the teacher. You had fear of the teacher. You respected. You respected the teacher. You respected the principal. Let me sum it all up. You respected authority. When I was coming up, and please don't give me that line, oh, that's during your day. That's the old school. You know something? Let me tell y'all something. There's nothing new under the sun. This shows it goes around. It's going to come back again. Because the sun keeps traveling all the way around the earth. Keep going around the earth. It doesn't stop. And that's been doing that for thousands of years. And it ain't going to stop now. Fathers, we got to take our place. We got to, first of all, we got to man up. I'm putting my name in there too. I'm not exempting myself because I'm a man as well. I'm a father just like a lot of you. But we can change this here, but we cannot sit back. And a lot of you know your son's doing something wrong. A lot of you know your daughters are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You know that they're hanging with people they should not be hanging, but you're trying to be their friend. No, don't be their friend, be their parent. They need you. As a matter of fact, they want you to be their parent. Not their friend. They got enough friends. Without you being a friend, they don't need an adult friend if they are children themselves. They need you to parent them. And please, stop saying, I don't know what to do with them. First of all, you listen, our families, the structure of family has been destroyed almost. I don't want to say it like it's over with. No, because we still have a lot of good families that are, the structure is intact. It's intact. But the thing of it is that constantly the family structure is constantly under attack. Why? Because if you get the fathers out of the homes, you get the fathers away from the homes, away from the children. This thing been going on for years. This ain't happened overnight. This ain't happening. And then, you know what? I know some of y'all might get upset a little bit here what I'm about to say, but we need to start with this church, pray. And we need to get in the neighborhoods, get in the communities. We need to get out of the four walls. The ministry is not inside the church. The ministry is outside of the church in the community. But we talk amongst ourselves. We always want to depend on God. It's good. Yes, depend on God. But God ain't going to come down and do everything that we can do for ourselves. He's not going to do it. He left us here as free moral agents. I apologize, y'all, if I'm yelling and screaming, whatever. It's just my passion. It's just my passion. We can make a difference. Let me tell you something what happened here on my job. You know, every place that I go work, I look at it as a new assignment. And when I transition from one job to another, I am okay, God, what's my assignment here? Okay. And I came across a coworker, a young man, 31 years old, I think, new father, beautiful young son, first son, and everything. When him and I first met, this guy had a fuse that short. I mean, it was short, man. I mean, he gets upset, angry, and I mean, he gave me the business a couple of times. But I didn't respond to him the way in which that he expected me to respond, because I just looked at it, you know what? I need to reach this young man. I need to reach this young man. And he's a Hispanic gentleman. I need to reach him. And I mean, he was just throwing all kind of stuff at me. But no, every time I had an opportunity to speak a word of wisdom into his life, I did. I didn't go to him preaching the Bible. Oh boy, you're going to burn in hell. You keep doing. No, I didn't do none of that. I didn't do none of that. I just talked wisdom to him, share little nuggets here, little nuggets there. That's a year ago. Fast forwarded to today. He sent me an invitation to his son's christening. He sent it to me. And I was the only dark-skinned person up in there. And when he saw me, he came to me, hugged me. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Appreciate everything you did for me. Appreciate the talks, appreciate the conversations and everything. Yes. But we cannot, just because think about, well, that ain't my child. Oh, he lost. I don't care about him. No, we need to stop being so selfish with our wisdom. We need to, let me respond to some of these comments here. We got some comments here. All of men got to stand up in our rightful position. Yes, sir, Mr. Singleton. I don't want to miss no one. I thank God for the influences I had growing up. Many married, masculine, godly men. Absolutely, Mr. Nelson. Absolutely. That's my nephew there. All right. What else we got? Miss Tara Williams, train up a child. Okay, where you go. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. And that's the truth, man. That's the truth. That is the truth. Yes, he gave us the keys to the kingdom. Thank you, Miss Nelson. Also, the system is set up to keep the fathers out of the home and depend on the government. Amen. And why we don't know that? And then if we know that, why we continue to feed into that? Why we continue to give our lives to that system? The government system does not help us, you all. And I hear it all the time. Oh, I got free rent and food stamps or whatever. That's fine if you need it now. If you're in that position, and you're in this, we all follow hard times. But why do we feel that we got to get there and stay there? No, get up. Hey, listen, they want to keep, I'm getting off subject. I don't want to get off subject, but they want to keep the fathers. It was all, now y'all might disagree. Y'all might disagree. I might even get kicked off of here. I don't know. This might be my last time broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know. But I just feel it's all designed to do exactly that. To keep the fathers out of the home. To kick him out. And then y'all lying about he ain't there when you know you got a man. Why you lie? Because you want to stay with the system. Don't do that. Then what you're doing, you know what you're doing? You're creating a generational curse. This is what you're doing. This is what you are doing. We got to change the ship. Get in your sons' lives, everybody. You yourself, father, stay out of the prison. Stay out of the jail. Stop smoking the crack. Stop doing the dope. Stop selling drugs. You don't have to. And then please stop telling me that, you know, it's how I was brought up. It's what I was exposed to. You know, I came across, I went into a 7-Eleven one day, as a matter of fact, this week. I went into 7-Eleven, and there was a young man that was on the ground. He was asking for change. Okay, I don't want to call him a beg or whatever. I'm just going to refer to him respectfully as a young man. And so, you know, I shook my head. No, I don't have any change. I came out, and you know, he looked at me again, I guess, as if think I was going to give him something, and I didn't. So I went to my work vehicle and went to get in, and I looked at him. He looking at me. So I came back to him and asked him, I said, well, bro, how long you been homeless? And he said, 10 years. I said, well, how did you end up here? He said, my mama kicked me out. Well, how old are you now? I'm 35. So mama kicked you out at 25 and you went to the streets and stayed there? Oh, and I told him, I said, man, you can't use that as an excuse, bro. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. We living in a land of opportunity. Let me help y'all here. Y'all need to go and see my broadcast last week with Mr. Jared Welcher. This is a young man that was raised up, you might as well say, in a crack house. Him and his siblings raised up in a crack house. But he didn't let his circumstances, his environment dictate who he was going to be in life. As a matter of fact, none of his siblings did, those that I know of. And this young man raised himself up out of that crack house into 5-star restaurants as a master chef. So please don't tell me you gotta become you are a product of your environment. Stop telling that lie. No, you're not. You are not a product of your environment unless you choose to be a product of your environment. Don't tell that lie. Stop using mama for an excuse. Stop using daddy for, well, my daddy, he wasn't there. Stop using that for an excuse. You there? And I'm sure there was some man that's been trying to speak into your life, but you're too hard-headed because you think you're a man. You're not a man. Yet, And you got a nerve to think that you don't need nobody to speak it. I don't care. Let me help y'all. Let me help y'all. I'm 61 years old, and I still need my father's wisdom. Yeah, let me let that sit a little bit, because I'm getting ready to get off of here. Hey, I like that nephew, but he did have a village. Yes, sir. He did. And that's going to my point. That's going to my point. Somebody there, that's to me, God too smart for that. God too smart for that. But you so caught up in your world, you may not even see when God moving in your life. But he'll put people in your life to help you get out your circumstance and your situation. But you got to want to change. You have to want to change. Because if you don't want to change, you're going to stay right there, stuck on stupid. Right there. No. I'm just reading some of these decisions determine destiny. Absolutely. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. Okay. My siblings and I, my whole family, we came right out of the heart of Liberty City. Right there on 61st Street and 14th Avenue. Right out of the heart, y'all. I was there during the 1916 riots. Right in that same hole, right across the street from Lincoln Fields. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where as a matter of fact, if those of you who do not know, that Lincoln Fields, Lincoln Square, Liberty Square, one of them names, right there on 62nd and 15th Avenue, that was the very first public housing in the United States. That's where it all started, public housing. And I tell you now, if you go back and look at the pictures there, it didn't look like it looked right now. Because when them people had their public housing, that generation, they appreciated it. They took care of it. They picked up the paper off the ground. They made sure around their neighborhood, their community was clean. They looked out for one another. They took care of one another's children. They didn't mind sharing their food. But right now, you can't get that now. Why is like that? Because we stopped caring. Thank you, Mr. Welcher. Lincoln Field. Okay, so I was right the first time. We got to fix this here. It's a lie. Hey, I live in a 4-2. A nice community. You know why I live there? Because I chose to live there. Yeah, I had my ups and downs and valleys. I done been through divorce and all that kind of stuff. I done had to sleep in done been homeless, but I didn't stay there. I didn't stay there, y'all. What I tried to do is educate myself, educate my mind, do my own study. Stop believing every little thing everybody tell you that come across the TV. As a matter of fact, shut the TV down. Stop watching so much TV. Get a book, read a book, educate yourself, learn about money. Learn about finance, learn about investment. It's what you put in you, that's what you're going to get out. So if you keep on putting the same nonsense, I don't care if it's drugs, I don't care if it's sex, I don't care what it is. If it's anything that's not going to benefit your mind, your body, and the children, the minds, and the bodies of your children, guess what? You're going to have a continue repeated cycle over and 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 over again, and then you wonder why you're stuck. Who you blaming? Okay, I'm done. I got a little carried away there, y'all. I apologize. No, I don't. I don't apologize for nothing I said. We gotta stop killing ourselves. We're losing our young men too soon. You know, them 5 young boys, I don't want to call them boys. I call them man-child, because it's just something that clicked in my spirit from a last broadcast a good friend of mine shared. He said, I am a man first. We need to stop calling our boys boys and start calling them young men. Because really who they are kings. They're kings. That's right. It's too much foolishness. No, not man boys, nephew. We're going to call them man child. They're a child. They're a man too. And we need to instill that in them, that's who you are. And I'm going to teach you. I'm going to give you all the wisdom that I have. My heart goes out for that family of them 5 young men. Their life will never be the same. It has been altered. It has been altered. And I ask why? What in their mindset would possess them to want to go and take property that belongs to someone else? And the reason being is they don't care and they don't respect each other. Now, when I was watching these videos, right, especially the one where the 3 guys were shooting this one man. So, and my mind goes here. Even there was one video, I think I kind of talked through it, where it's that the young man, his name was Russell Perrell, 17. They say he got 6 consecutive life sentences, plus 10 years. He'll never see daylight again. Never. And I was thinking, I'm like, do they put themselves, what if that was their brother that was being chased like that? What if that was their father that was being chased like that? Just like the 12-year-old who got the gun and shot the father who was in the confrontation with his uncle. My question is, would he have shot his own father? What if that was his brother? Would you? Do they think about that? Do they take that in consideration? Hey, this could be my family member. And this is what ended up happening. Oh, you killed my brother? I'm going to kill your brother. I'm going to kill your mama. I'm going to kill your child. I'm going to kill your son. I'm going to kill your daughter. We don't care. We don't respect life anymore. I got to wrap this up. We don't respect life anymore. We don't have a problem violating somebody else's property. Why? Hey, guess what? You know what? If you work, save your money, stop allowing yourself to become a victim of your circumstances, you can own what you want to own too. You can. Just got to learn how to do it. It's something that I heard somebody said. Okay, here we go. Let me respond to these conversations. Ricky Nelson Jr. 17-year minds are not fully developed. These young criminals don't think about the future. They don't. That is true. They don't think about the future. They only live in, that kind of going the way I was going to go there. They live in a microwave, living for right now moment. Think of what is going to happen right now. Mr. Welcher says, we also need to spend time and talk to us. Absolutely. Don't only be there just to be a disciplinarian. You got to get involved in what they do. You have to. My oldest son, when he started, I'm just saying, I keep saying my oldest son because that's when I realized that I had needed to really make a change. He was my firstborn. And I realized, you know what, I'm doing this wrong as a father, but then we have a tendency to do things based off of learned behavior. So however our parent was with us, we'll end up being that same way with our children as a parent. But some things, we got to change it. I had to change some things because I realized something that was happening to me or that was being done to me, that wasn't working down here. Though it might have worked right here, it wasn't working down there. So I had to get involved in his life other than just to be a disciplinarian. I realized that there had to be a balance of love, Has to be. I'm almost done. I got to get out of here. Okay, a lot of men think that buying things for their sons make them fathers. You better say it. Somebody said they need your presence, not your present. Not a present. That's good, Mr. Welcher. So far from the truth, I don't remember not one Christmas present my dad got me. But I do remember as a 5, 6, 7-year-old going to work with my with my dad, okay, with my father. This Bradshaw said, I started in a 1-bedroom with 3 kids, stayed in a shelter with 3 kids, met people in the shelter that encouraged me. God's presence is everywhere. I showed my kids that it's not how you start, but it's how, let me see what it says here, but it's how you not give up on no matter what. That is true. That is so true. Social media, too much influence. My oldest son has three children, a girl and 2 boys. I think the oldest is, I don't know, maybe 14, 15. I might be messing these ages up. 13 years old, I think, is his oldest son, and maybe 11, 12 is the baby boy. And I was just with them this week. I gotta get off here. I don't been on here long enough. I was this week, and I asked them. I said, because I was thinking about something. It was something that they're involved in, they're engaged in, and I asked them. I said, "Well, do y'all have YouTube?" And this was my son's daughter and his daughter and his oldest son, and they said, "No. My dad don't allow us on social media to have those type of sites." Okay, 12, 13, and 15. Thank you, love. My son does not allow his children. They don't have a social media page. None of that. And they don't have YouTube. And they have phones. But it's only certain apps that they're allowed them to watch. Interesting. So for you to think that your child needs to have social media in order to survive and to thrive, they lied to you. No, they don't. We grew up just fine without social media, didn't we, you all? Those of you that's in my generation. We did just fine without having cell phones. We turned out just fine. Now, I'm not trying to say that, the same things that are going on right now didn't happen back then. Oh, yes, it did. It's just that it's being more exposed right now. Yes, we grew up without phones too. That's called active parenting. Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Yes, it is, Ms. Juvenile. We have to, as parents, we have to be involved with our children. That's it. And it starts with the fathers. Fathers, we got to put the structure back to home. We are the foundation. We are the foundation. Okay? We are the foundation. You move the foundation, you got a sorry built house. The house will fall. Ladies, mothers, wives, stop acting like you're the foundation, because you were not designed to be the foundation. That man was. That man that who you had that baby from, had that man child or that woman child from, that's the foundation. But in short, the most important thing we can do is that we got to get back to God. And like someone said, when they took prayers out to school, they destroyed our young people right now. Destroyed our young people. Let me share this with you, then we're going to stop. I did a Father's Note talk with a young man, Gene Pollard. And, it was about him teaching his girls. He has 2 young daughters, 5 and 7. And what he did, he set up, they wanted to get into selling, get into business. He wanted to teach them entrepreneurship. So he started a lemonade stand for them. You go back and watch one of the videos, you'll see. He started a lemonade stand with them. And now they have gotten acclimated to going out after they school, after they do their work and everything. And he's in a good neighborhood, and they've become acclimated with having their business. They want to run their business. They're asking him, hey, Daddy, can we go sell today? Can we go sell today? And he makes it clear that he's not doing it for the money, but he's doing it for the principle of it, because he wants to teach his children. He wants to teach his children that they have what they need in order to make their own way. They don't have to depend on anybody else, no one else. And he fell in my spirit, and I just happened to call him today, and it grieved my heart for him to tell me that the police had to come there and shut him down, him and his daughters down, because somebody, had to be one person, kept calling and complaining about him out there on the side of the street with his two young girls, and they are running or having a business or making money. He's teaching this. And now I know I've supported them. I have supported them. As a matter of fact, I sold into that business. I sold into this business because I saw I don't want to, God knows, God, you know my heart. I try not to take no credit for anything, because I want to, because whatever I do in secret, then God will reward me openly. But I did what I had to do. I took my wife had said something to me, babe, you ought to do so and so. And when I thought about it, I said, absolutely. Because how they was working, how they was set up, he had the little table out there, and of course the lemonade pitcher there, and had the cooler there. But I saw how it was really unstable. So what I did, though, I'm a carpenter, and I love building things. So I built them a lemonade stand. Something I saw is, they had the car there and whatever. And I'm going to say God just gave me the measurements so that when I built the way it's compact, he can break it down and stick it in the trunk of his car. And so when I took it to him and I blessed him with it, he was like, oh man, you don't know how much you blessed me. It was something I had in mind to do. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. I was thinking I was going to have to buy a car, buy another truck to do this and do that there. But what you did, brother, just really blessed my kids, whatever. But then to hear that they had to shut it down. And he said his girls cried. They cried. And you know what he said to me? He said his girls cried because one of them, I think the oldest one, said that they were afraid that they were going to come and arrest their daddy and hurt him. I don't know who this person is that kept calling on his father who was doing right by his children, but they ought to be ashamed of themselves. It is obviously they have no life. So what they choose to do is to come at a father, but it's not the father they're hurting. It's these girls, these children. And what he's done for his children, all of us should be doing. Now, I'm going to say here that those of you who know of him or in that area, I want you all to continue to support him. And those of you who, because I'm praying you all, because this has to stop. They don't bother nobody else that be in the middle of the medians in the streets, selling their roses and waters and what have you. I don't see nobody bothering them. I'm not saying that they don't, but I don't see nobody bothering them. But here there's a man that's doing something constructive and positive with his children. Has to stop doing because the law says so. Really? And the sad thing about it is that the officer, one of the officers, because he get plenty of support, even with the officers. If you go there to their Instagram page, I keep saying I'm gonna get off here. I gotta shut up. If you go to the Instagram page, AJ, A as in apple, J as in Jack, _, lemonade stand, you will see where there are pictures. And his girls have taken pictures with police officers in their business. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing. And you'll see how they pray over their business and everything. It's the most beautiful thing. But no, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. And I told him, listen, bro, I'm going to stand whatever we have to do in order to fix this. We got to do something about it. But my point is that the officer, one of the officers said this, that he was going to support Mr. Pollard because his daughters, seeing Mr. Pollard's daughters out there doing a business, inspired his daughters to want to have a business as well. For a lemonade stand, all they need is a peddling license. It don't cost much. I'll even pay for the, let me tell you what happened. We discussed that. And they told him that they don't even give them to them. They don't even give them out for that stuff. That's true, nephew. Don't stop. There's another example for his girls. Absolutely. Nosy neighbors, and when they need to be nosy, they're nowhere to be found. I hear you. Yeah, yes, sir, Mr. Welch. Whoever called ain't stopped nothing. Absolutely. But we're gonna fix this here. But this was his point, Mr. Jean's point. He said this. He said, Mr. Lionel, I'm not doing it just for my girls. He said, I want to fix this for all the children that want to do something positive in their life. That's what we ought to be. Because, and he said this to the police, he said, sir, I can't believe that I have to do this. He said, I'm teaching my children a way to go and how to live their life so that they don't become a problem to you. That was some deep stuff. Here it is, a father who's engaged in his children's life and got to shut it down because of the law says so. And then here it is, we got children over here, fathers who ain't involved in their children's lives, but their children can do whatever they want to do until they get caught by the law. Something wrong with that. All right, I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Hey, listen, tune in tomorrow night. I got a regular Father's Note broadcast with a dear friend, Mr. Rod Smith. Y'all gonna love Mr. Smith. We got a treat for you all. Y'all gonna love Mr. Smith. But you know what, Mr. Welcher, we're gonna definitely look more into that peddling license. Definitely. We're gonna, because it can't stop this. We're gonna fix this here. We're gonna fix this. Whatever we need, whatever is gonna be we need to do, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna stand with this father, and I'm asking every father out there that hears this message, hears my voice. You can DM me, let me know you stand. Even if you stand right now, hey, put it in the chat right now. Put it in the chat. Yes, I stand with the Father's Note as we stand with AJ Lemonade Stand. Absolutely. We got to do something about this. They out there selling lemonade and they got to shut it down. That's sad. Because somebody keep calling. Thank you all, family. I appreciate you all. You know, hey, but listen, we're gonna do this. We don't been on here long enough. Okay, so we gotta say something for tomorrow. So we're gonna be back tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow night, Facebook Live at 7:30. Okay. Tune in to A Father's Note. I appreciate all of you who have tuned in tonight. Please share this video with your friends. Go to our YouTube channel as well. Even if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about what I've said tonight. If you agree with what I've said, or if you think that I just went off the, the deep blue sea, off in the deep blue sea somewhere, But I'm going to stand by what I believe in. And I believe where I am at now is the place where God has me. And I'm going to be a voice. I am going to be a voice until he quiets this down. But no, we got to make a difference. We can make a difference. Even not only are 12, 13, 14 years old, but, in my experience and in my lifetime, what I do, I find that, I come across some 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, 40 years old. They need somebody to speak wisdom in their life. And we got a lot of men out here that can do that and will do that and should do that. We got to band together. We band together, we can be an army of one. We can be a force of one. Okay? Stand up, stand out, fight on. Yes, sir. Thanks for the invite. Rella, this was awesome. I definitely will share a Father's Note page. Thank you so much for your support. Got that Nelson bad out. Yeah, yes. So we gonna do this here. I'm gonna keep talking, and we want to have more of you on fathers, sons, okay, even family members. We're gonna be on here. I'm just talking running my mouth. Let me get off of here. Hey, listen, we love you all. Thank you for watching A Father's Note, where we promote fathers through building men. And until next time, tomorrow night now, Sunday night, tomorrow night, I want to see you all, as my sister says, in the chat. See you in the chat, okay? Everybody, have a good night. Lionel Nelson here, and welcome to A Father's Note, promoting fathers through building men. It's so important that we always stand up for our fathers. We want you to know we're with you. We're standing behind you 110%.